Hi, this is Nicholas York, a registered migration and education agent from Pathway to Oz. Today, I'm going to answer a question we get asked all the time. How do I find a company to sponsor me? Okay, so we're always asked this for applicants who can't get their own PR pathway through general skilled migration, and perhaps they need an employer to sponsor them. Today I'm going to give you some tips on, some certain ways that you might be able to find an employer. Now, look, I'm not a recruiter. Do not send me your resume. I'm a migration agent, okay? We assist companies with the migration process, with all the paperwork. We don't link applicants and companies together. Here are some of the tips, all right? So obviously it's very different depending on your occupation or depending on your, whether you're onshore or offshore. But the most important thing you can do, if possible, and this is huge for onshore applicants, can you work for the company and demonstrate that you are worth paying the money to sponsor? So it costs a company, $5,000 upwards in regard to sponsor someone. So they want to know before they spend the money that you're worth it. You might have a fantastic resume, but if the company doesn't know you, they're going to be reluctant to sponsor you because you could come onshore, work for the company and be an absolute plonker. All right, so look, if you can get to Australia on a working holiday visa or on a student visa with partial work rights or some way, this will allow you to work for the company and demonstrate to the company that you are worth sponsoring. That's the number one thing, okay? All right, so the next thing, and something that a lot of you probably haven't heard of, is you may be able to find an employer or through the immigration website. A lot of employers have what are called labor agreements. And the only reason an employer would enter a labor agreement is because they are screaming for employers. They're really struggling. It's not the easiest thing to do to enter a labor agreement. A labor agreement basically allows certain employers certain concessions and makes it a little bit easier to sponsor. Okay, so look, not every occupation may be on a labor agreement, but have a look. I'll put the link below. Have a look through, see if you can find anyone or any company. Maybe try and contact them from there. So the next thing is through job search websites. So look, Seek, Indeed, they're probably the main ones, LinkedIn, Jora, etc. Okay? But don't waste your time contacting companies that will not sponsor you. 95% of employees only want to sponsor someone in Australia with a work visa. You need to find the other 5% of employers who may be open to sponsoring. Okay, so try to tailor your search a little bit. Can you input words into Seek such as employer sponsorship or sponsorship to find a company that may actually sponsor you? So if you're just looking through, if you type it in, you can actually find companies where it says employer sponsorship available to the right applicant or something like that. Once you do find the company, don't be lazy and just send an application through Seek. Do a little research, get on the company website, find out the person in charge who you want to contact. Draft a cover letter, make yourself stand out, email the person in charge of hiring. Put yourself, right up there. Another tip to maybe make it a little bit easier to find an employer to sponsor you, before you approach, an employer or recruiter, ensure you've got the right qualifications and work experience to work in your role in Australia. Some occupations require licensing, some occupations require certain qualifications. Maybe get licensed, maybe get a skill assessment, get your qualifications recognized. All this could help. Look, each occupation is different, so I can't really give you exact information on that, but look into it. All right, guys, and finally, if you can do an intra-company transfer, it makes it a lot easier. So can you find an employer in your home country with offices in Australia and basically request, to be transferred over once you've demonstrated to the company that you're a competent and capable employee? Look, I hope you found that information helpful. I know it's, it might not be everything there, but I hope it gives you a few tips to hopefully find a company that may be willing to sponsor you. The rest is up to you. You gotta wow the employer. And then once you do, feel free to contact a Pathway to Oz and we can assist with all sorts of visa processing. Thanks.